Hi everyone! So, some of you would have seen my live stream that I did recently, and I made this, it was a 3x7 slimline triple book concertina card. This is what it looks like. It's very thick, but then when you open it out, you have this fabulous kind of concertina book card. And so as I say, this one folds flat to be 3x7. So I have tried to do a 5x7, so that's what we're doing today. I will warn you, it turns out enormous. So if you want an enormous showstopper card, then the 5x7 version is for you. So this one, it basically follows the same idea as this one. It's all done exactly the same as this one. So if you want to make this one and you don't want to watch the live stream, then you can watch this tutorial that I'm going to do now, because all the principles are the same, and then look at the measurements in the description below the live stream for this one. I will try and link the live stream so you can see it. So for this one I use my new Travel the World papers. The digital kit will be available on DRK Crafts. It's also available in my Ko-fi shop. And the paper pads, at time of recording, the paper pads are not published on Amazon just yet, but they have been sent off. So hopefully by the time this goes up, I'm sure and hope that they will be live on Amazon. So yeah, and as I say, it does fold. I won't say flat. It folds down. It's definitely not flat. It folds down. This one does to be 3x7, but the one we're going to do today will fold down to be 5x7. So let's get into it. Okay, so for this 5x7 version, you're going to need, now there's two ways of doing this, but I'm going to do it using 3 5x7 card blanks. It does mean then that you need hinges as well to stick the 3 together. So if you would rather, you can go for 2 pieces that are 7x10.5 and 1 piece that's 7x10. Or you can just go like me and have 3 pieces that are 7x10 and 2 pieces that are 1x7. It's really up to you. But anyway, we're going to do, the principles are kind of the same. It's just that one has a little tab on the end to connect, and the other one you're sticking a tab on. So I'm going to go for the sticking a tab on, just because I've got the card blanks ready and it's just sort of easy to do that. So on your 7x10, if you've got a 7x10.5, it's similar, just kind of ignore the tab. We will do the scoring in a bit, but anyway. So for a 7x10, what you want to do is go along the end here, and I would do it on the back of your card as well, so you don't end up with pencil marks so you can see. And you're going to mark along that short edge at 2 and at 5, and also along this edge here at 2 and at 5. Now the reason I'm doing it right on the ends, because some of you later on will think, well hang on, why do you do it on the end? It's just so then you can guarantee that your lines are going to be a bit straighter than if you did it a different way, if you went to the middle. So then we're going to line up from between those two 2-inch marks, and then at 3 inches we're just going to make a little mark there, and also at 7 inches. And then what I'm going to do, instead of drawing a line, because you can just draw a line here and then come back and cut later, I'm going to go straight in and cut. You do still need your lines, they're important for when you come to score. So then we're just going to come down, we're going to cut all the way down like that across between those 2 marks. Then we're going to come down, do exactly the same thing on the 5-inch mark. So again, just going to lay my ruler on. I'm making sure that it's lined up on the edge, so then our measurements are correct. And then we're going to come over, make a mark at 3, make a mark at 7, and then cut between those 2 marks. So you end up with that. So you're going to repeat that whole process on your other 2 pieces of card. Right, so once you've cut them, you now need to bring your scoreboard in. Now you can just use a ruler and a scoreboard and and corkboard if you want. I'm actually, when I say scoreboard, I mean a score tool, but I'm going to use one of these. Now you want to try and find your 3-inch kind of ridge, which is there. Is that there? Yeah. and you're going to score in between those two cut lines, and then again at 7 you can do the same again. So you end up with that. So you've got a score line there. Hope you can sort of see it. Yeah, there you can see it. So you're going to repeat that on the other two pieces. Then you're also going to need two pieces that are 1 inch by 7, and these you're just going to score in half at 1/2 inch. And then you're going to take your little 1 by 7s and just fold them in half like that, and they're going to make little hinges that will stick your entire card together. And then these three here, what we're going to do is we're going to take them, and in the middle I'm just going to fold in half like a normal card blank. So you end up with that, and then you just want to get your fingers in these little bits here, and these are going to become mountains, and that one at the back that was mountain is now going to be a valley. And then you just want to fold the whole thing down and burnish it into place. And you might find, like with mine, it wants to argue with you, but you just start with the crease and fold yourself, fold along, and then you should be able to get it to lay flat. So you might have to kind of go over. So you see here my crease isn't quite, my inside crease there is sort of arguing with me a little bit. You can probably see it there where it's gone a bit weird. So that's just obviously, it's just part of it, so it's fine. You can just kind of even it out. Once you've got everything on, you're not going to be able to see it, but you do need it to be able to fold down flat like that. So you're going to repeat that process on the other two pieces. Okay, so you should end up with 3 pieces that look like that. Now obviously if you wanted to, you could just do that as a card. That makes quite a nice little card. It's quite easy to do. So you could just do a single. If you wanted to, you could just stop at a double, have it as a double. But we're going for the full triple, which as you can see does end up being quite large. So what we're going to do now is just join them together. So obviously if you've done it with the 7 by 10 and a halves, you'll have a tab on the edge of 2 of them, so they will just need connecting together and then connecting onto the last one. But because I decided to go with the hinge mechanism, because it's just a bit easier to use card blanks, then what we're going to do is grab some red tape. You can use wet glue as well. I'm going to grab some red tape, and I'm just going to put some red tape on the inside of my 2 hinges. So now with the red tape on both of my hinges, I'm going to grab one of my pieces, and before I do that I'm going to go ahead and notch. I just prefer to notch the tops, and I like to do it after I've put the tape on, because it's just a little bit easier doing it after than trying to bend your, angle your tape. So I'm just going to quickly notch these 2 edges. Okay, so then you want to take your 2 hinge pieces that you've put your tape on, and then we're going to grab our card base. I'm going to take the backing partially off one side, like that, and then I'm going to grab my card, and we're going to put it over and just stick it on the underside. Now I do find that wet glue is slightly easier for this, because obviously once red tape sticks, it sticks. So you want to stick it on, and you want to make sure it doesn't go over that centre score line, so that this will still fold in half like that. And then I'm just going to take I'm going to turn this around so I can get underneath the backing. Take the backing partially off, bring your next one in, and these 2 should join in the middle. Okay, so you should end up with that. So just make sure you can definitely fold it in half. Mine's a bit stiff, but I mean, I'm not sure whether my hinges were maybe a bit too thick. But yeah, if you give them a bit of a burnish, that helps them. So that's those 2. So then you want to go ahead and repeat the same process on the end here. Okay, so when you've done that, you should end up with something that folds down relatively flat at the moment before we've added mats and layers. That looks like that, and when you open it up, that's what it looks like. So now we need to go ahead and decorate everything. So what I've decided to do, and you can decorate how you want to do, but I've done these pieces here. I've done 12 of those. So those are measuring, the mat is 1 3/4 by 4 3/4, and the patterns are 1 1/2 by 4 1/2. So I've gone for some papers, my nautical nostalgia papers. I thought it might be quite fun to do a nautical card. And so I've got thin mat, so I've used the back of the papers, so that's the pattern paper. I've used these are 100 GSM each. So the mats are 100 and so is the pattern. And you want to go as thin as you possibly can because it's going to end up really being chunky. So I'm going to go ahead now and stick all of these on here and all of them on the bottom there. Okay, so you should end up with that hopefully. So now what you need is you're going to need to decorate obviously these parts here. So you need 6 pieces. You need the mat needs to be 2 3/4 by 3 inches, and the pattern is 2 1/2 by 2 3/4, and these are portrait pieces. So these are going to go on here like this. I'm going to go ahead now and stick all of these down. Okay, so you should end up with that. So now you're going to need to get yourself 6 base pieces, and these are 3 by 3 1/2. But what you need to make sure is you need to make sure that these do actually fit in there. So the 3 inch is the height, and the 3 1/2 is the width. And you just want to make sure that for each of your little alcoves, as it were, they fit. Because I have in the past found that these, you know, I've cut them, maybe I've cut these apertures slightly, like literally a fraction smaller than the width of the height of these. So just make sure they fit, because now is the time to know if they don't fit. If they don't fit, you can just trim them down slightly so they do fit, okay? But as I said, do that now, because you're going to be sticking your mats and patterns onto these. So you're going to need in total, and I've gone for 4 of one colour and 2 of another, because I quite like the idea of having the plain in the middle so I can put my greeting on it and it's not quite so busy. So I've gone for 6 in total, 6 pieces of mat that are 2 3/4 by 3 1/4, and 6 pieces of pattern that are 2 1/2 by 3. And so these are obviously going to be sticking onto these little white squares here. So I'm going to go ahead now and stick all of these down onto their respective base cards. Okay, so you've stuck all your bits down, so now we need to go ahead and stick them in. So we're just going to take, you can either use wet glue or tape. It's easier to use wet glue, I think, because you've got a bit more wriggle time. And we're just going to put a bit of glue just on this little rectangle here. And then take our first rectangle, slot it in, and make sure that it fits in and it goes right up to that crease line. And you might want to just shut it like this and just give it a bit of a, if using wet glue, give it a bit of a stick down, because that way you will know then it's not going to be going over that fold line. So then we're going to do the same on the other side. And then take our piece and again just lay it in, and then I would just probably fold it up. When you fold it up, just sort of push it down. You can also make sure at this point that it's level with the one next door. So like that. Both of mine need to kind of come over a bit. We've got a bit of a gap at the top. Let me just make mine a bit more. Okay, so that's your first one in. So then you're just going to carry on with the other 4. Okay, so you should end up with that hopefully. So now all we need to do is go ahead and decorate. So I have a few bits and bobs here. I've got quite a nice little lighthouse, and I've got a just for you, which just about fits. Then I've got a couple of boats, so I thought I might do a boat and a thingy bob there. And I also have an anchor, and I just need to cut one more piece out to stick down. So I'm going to go ahead now and stick these down. Okay, so there you have the finished card. So I've just put a few little items on the inside there. Obviously it all does fold flat. I'm not going to fold it flat because I've just put some silicone glue on. I haven't put loads on, but I have put a bit on. I wanted a bit of texture. Now on the back you want to be able to write. Now one thing with this enormous version is that you have got a lot of space. So what you could do here is you could just put a panel in here and put somewhere to write. So you have got more space to write on this version than on the version I did in my live stream. So yeah, so there you go. So that is the card for today. So I hope you enjoyed today. Don't forget to go and check out my Nautical Nostalgia paper kit. It's available as a digital kit over on DRK Crafts. It's also available on, I believe it's available on Etsy, and in my Etsy shop, and it's also available as a paper pad over on Amazon. So we'll leave all the links in the descriptions below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and I'll see you again next time. Bye everyone!